Hi everyone. I will be presenting the media analysis in Khashoggi's case, Who's Lying? So, first of all, let's see who's Khashoggi. He is a Saudi Arabian journalist who wrote articles critical of Saudi government. He advocated for reform and free expression in his country. As in Saudi Arabia, nobody dared to criticize, so he moved to the US in 2017 in order to speak freely. He was a columnist for the Washington Post, where he criticized his country and the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Jamal Khashoggi had been disappeared on October 2nd after he entered the consulate of Saudi Arabia in Istanbul. On October 3rd, Mohammed bin Salman told that he left the consulate after a few minutes or 1 hour. On October 7th, Turkish officials said that he was killed at the consulate. But 1 week later, Saudi authorities denied the Turkish claims and considered it as lies and baseless allegation. On October 19th, Saudi Arabia's authorities said Khashoggi died because of altercation and fistfight shortly after he entered the consulate. So based on this event, I select 2 articles from Saudi Gazette and the Washington Post. The articles have various commonalities and differences. Both authors indicate that there were lies and deceptions in the Khashoggi's case. When providing the reason why the opposite side is lying, the authors explain the same events but in a different way. The article on Saudi Gazette doesn't doubts that how could 15 Saudi elite troopers with weapons pass the airport security. Meanwhile, the articles on the Washington Post doubts that how a team of Saudi agents could fly to Istanbul to meet Khashoggi and eventually kill him without the consent of the Crown Prince. Another key piece of evidence is the video and audio recording from the Turks, which proved that Khashoggi was killed and dismembered. In terms of those materials, Trump and his officials denied that they had reviewed them to present their neutral stance. Meanwhile, the Saudi author indicated that the evidence is deception. He states that the Bluetooth range does not extend that far, so that the audio could not be sent to the Apple Watch outside the consulate. He also states that if Turks have already had the evidence since the very first day, they don't need to wait investigation and the fiancé won't demand his release. Both articles mention the political relationship among Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the US. On the side of the US, Trump needs the Crown Prince in order to keep the Middle East peace plan. On the other side of the kingdom, Iran would like to see the crash between the kingdom and the US. We may see more differences than similarities between the 2 articles. First of all, the style of the article are different. The one on Saudi Gazette is an opinion article. The author uses a persuasive style of writing to express his personal view. He goes straight to the point, putting the argument in the first line, then he organizes the arguing points to persuade readers. He uses colorful details and examples rather than dry facts to draw readers' attention. At last, the author rounds off the article by stating again the opinion. The one on the Washington Post is a report. The authors present the information and fact rather than the opinion. They present the claims of Crown Prince and the response of President Trump. A large part of the article is a transcription of Trump and official speech by quoting the exact words they say. The authors don't express this personal view nor the newspaper's official opinion. The complexity of 2 articles are different as well. Saudi Gazette doesn't provide much background information. The reader won't know how the story evolves after reading the article. It doesn't present multiple points of view. The author takes the point of view of Saudi Arabia. Therefore, all the arguments are against Turkish and Western media and support his country's claim. The article on the Washington Post is more neutral compared to the former one. Although most part of the article is quotes from Trump's speech, the authors provide background information. They take the point of view of multiple perspectives. The article addresses the claims of the kingdom, CIA officials, as well as Trump's opinion. In addition to the position, the authors also analyze the possible influence of the incident. The article is more complex and completed compared to the former one. Besides the style and complexity, the emotional impact are different as well. Saudi's author brings strong personal feeling into the article which could arouse the reader's emotion and to believe his point of view. He asks a lot of rhetorical questions to subtly influence the readers. The US authors are more neutral. They don't use explicit techniques to persuade or influence the readers. Instead, they have the readers themselves judge the fact. Different media report the same event in different ways. Many factors result in differences between two articles. First of all, two media are run by different countries which stand in different positions. Saudi Gazette is the leading English newspapers of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The theme is the tone of truth and moderation. The newspaper dedicates to deliver the news and information they rely on in a format they enjoy. The Saudi Gazette is the sister paper of Ukaz, which is pro-government and generally considered as the most aggressive and sensationalist among news against Yemen and ex-President Saleh. Saudi Gazette is perhaps the most anti-US of Saudi papers and is snide about US policies in the region. As the newspaper stands at pro-government and anti-US position, the author of the article also expresses the idea that the kingdom is innocent and the Western media is lying. On the other side, the Washington Post is a US newspaper run by Nash Holdings, a company established by Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. Although the authors of the article haven't expressed explicitly their opinion, they quote Trump's speech to present the doubt of the kingdom's explanation on Khashoggi's case. Target reader is another factor that causes the differences. As most readers of Saudi Gazette are people in Saudi Arabia, one of the goals of the article is to persuade the people and express political value. The author presumes that the reader have already known the event. Therefore, the author describes the Turkish investigation and the Western media as lies and deception by using the inflammatory languages, a question mark, and exclamation mark. A large part of the reader of the Washington Post are American people. However, it still has readers from other countries and different cultural background. Therefore, the author doesn't show a strong bias. Instead, they take a more neutral stance and give more background information. The last factor I would like to say is the socioeconomic aspect, which impacts the complexity of the two articles. Since Saudi Arabia will spend $110 billion on military equipment, and Trump still wants to keep the US-Saudi Arabian arms deal, the US officials didn't present an obvious position in terms of the Saudi account or impose any economic sanctions on Saudi. Otherwise, the money will go to Russia or China. In conclusion, due to the motivation, target reader, and socioeconomic aspect, different media reports will have different coverage on the same event. The reader may be influenced by the media, or they have already had bias before reading the article. They choose the article that fits their existing views and consume what they agree with. Thank you.